and Shelly. Yay. Okay, as you can see, I was telling the girls that got on here first, Elaine just got a lot older, if you'll see her name under my picture. And I'm sorry about that. She'll be back next week. She's this week is Scott's 60th birthday. And so they are on a major trip with the girls and out of the country. So I get to have you all to myself. So I am so excited about today's leadership huddle, especially because as you know, that Team Lightning, who is, all of the people on this team are absolutely flying through our compensation plan. And so they're just on fire and just achieving so much success and so many promotions, especially in April. And we know that success leaves clues. So I'm just going to go ahead and start because we want to pick their brains and learn from them about what kind of success they're having. So I've reached out to them and asked them if I could ask them some questions and they would share what they're doing. So I'm just delighted to have the opportunity to introduce each one of them to you. And I know you're going to be excited and inspired to hear. And like I said, we're recording this so we can share it with everybody. So, so the leader of this powerhouse team is Sandy Horn. And Sandy is a brand new senior sales coordinator, which is a huge deal. So congratulations, Sandy. And then Mara is a fast track QSSC, and she's rapidly on her way to senior sales coordinator. I think you're in your second month, aren't you? Or you just had, yeah. So that's so exciting. And then Gloria is our brand new QSSC in April. Oh my gosh, your team is just rocking. Congratulations, Gloria. And Cynthia is brand new to our leadership huddle. As a matter of fact, I didn't even realize that to give her access to get here. Thank God for it. She's got a helper in Gloria and so she's a brand new fast track sales coordinator. And that is a big deal. Way to go, Cynthia. And so those are all incredibly awesome accomplishments. So I don't want to we don't have a whole lot of time near as much time on the leadership huddle, and I want to get right to it. So Sandy, we can't wait to hear from you and from Team Lightning. So Sandy, basically, where are you going or where are you finding prospects that you engage with? And how is your team attracting them? How are you attracting them and how is your team attracting them?
Okay, well, first of all, when I was working outside of the home, which I stopped doing just recently, August 31st of last year, I knew that I had to get outside of my circle. And that's probably through talking with Maura and other people. That's probably one of the toughest things that we have to do is get outside of our circle. How do we do that? Yeah, we know we can talk to people, but I need to make connections. So I'm not ever going to be a part of like a mommy and me group or anything like that. So I knew I needed to get outside. So I was a part of a referral marketing group. And I love this particular group because it never really set easy with me when people say it's not personal, it's just business. Mm-hmm. Mm. And one of the things I liked about this particular group was their theme was business is personal. So it was always about making personal connections. And they really I knew it was a tool that I was going to use because they honed in on how to speak in a very short period of time. We were timed and we had to get right to the point. And there was a ton of training. So I took advantage of that as much as I did. I had to leave because I took care of my grandmother and I needed to leave, which leads me into this new group that I'm in, which is called a Care Partners Collaborative. Now, I wanted just to encourage everybody that in any area, if you just like Google business marketing or referral marketing or anything like that, they're going to give you options because I've even looked in different parts of the country to see what do they have there. And there are different groups. Now, not all groups are a good fit. The one that I was involved in ended up being a little bit top heavy with real estate. So that was kind of, they didn't really want to deal with whole food nutrition or anything health and wellness. But I still, I stood my ground, and I made connections, and I still have customers to this day. Then this Care Partners Collaborative, a friend of mine who was a social worker started this group, and it just dawned on me. I was like, I needed another group. Now this group is awesome because of the pandemic, it's all on Zoom. We only meet once a month. The referral marketing group, we met once a week. You've got to commit to that, but I could do that because I knew I needed this training in order to get where I needed in Juice Plus, or to use that and help me. This particular group was great because it's on Zoom. I still make connections, but I had that business training with the original group that kind of has lent itself to this group so that I can carry myself. I know how, plus Juice Plus, we have a ton of tools. So that is how that's the tool that I've used to attract prospects, customers, and I have some good customers from those groups, from that one particular group. I'm still working on some stuff in the newer group, but that should answer that question.
That's a great idea. So also, I know that when you and I shared that you wanted to talk about, one of the things that we asked about was doing your BAM, your big audacious move. And you're like, I have one of those.
When I think of BAM, it is a loud noise to me. So sometimes your BAM can go boom. And that's happened to me too. And so actually it was Elaine that, I've heard this throughout the years, but it's stuck in my head. You win some, you lose some, so what, move on. And so be nice, be kind to everybody. But I was kind of eyeing this guy that I didn't realize was a personal, he wasn't, he was a physical therapist. I didn't realize he was a physical therapist, and he shot me down kindly. Well, I like to say in a blaze of glory, but I just picked myself up and I kept moving on. He was familiar, but I really didn't want to waste my time, because I have found over the years that if I was wasting my time trying to convince somebody, I was wasting my time. I needed to move on to this other situation. So in this new referral marketing, I want to call it, group, I've made some connections, and I've been circling this lady. I've been a part of this group since about February. And I've been circling this lady who she has a diabetes group and foundation, really. And I have a strong connection with that, because I have diabetes in my family. I'm very cautious. It's the precursor to many diseases. My father had diabetes, which led to cancer. So I'm a little aware of what's going on, but she has this foundation. So finally, just this last week, after I had that one boom happen, I made this connection with this woman. And she was kind of over talking me a little bit. And she was like, I'm really familiar with Juice Plus. I'm really familiar. And I was like, okay, because really, how familiar can you be if you're not using it and you're not in the business? So you just say, okay, great. I'll let you tell you, and then I'm going to tell you. So she really liked my story when we were talking. And then she said to me, so do you know, her mother-in-law had passed away, and she had the same cancer that my father had. So we were making another connection. And then she said, oh yeah, because my mother-in-law, why I'm familiar with Juice Plus is she was a partner. Like, do you know Elaine? And I went, Elaine? Yes, I know Elaine. And I was like, I know Elaine. So she said, oh, she was really nice. And she even came to my mother-in-law's funeral. And so I said, well, I cannot speak for Elaine. However, through the course of this conversation, she said, she wanted me to do presentations talking about Juice Plus, talking about Tower Garden, and talking about the business, because she understands, most people understand now they need to have multiple streams of income. They get it because of what we just went through. And so it is, of course, I haven't been able to, I've left Elaine the message, and I said, I can't speak for her. And she's like, oh, it'd be wonderful if she came on the call, but as a result of that, I have a meeting with another person tomorrow, a whole separate situation, but I have 2 Zoom events on the books, end of May, beginning of June, because of making that connection with the lady and just being friendly. And so really hoping, she was very excited that we are going to partner. So I don't know where this is going to go, but really it was being a part, that was my BAM. It didn't go boom. It went kapow or whatever. And I'm hoping that it will turn into something. I'm just going to be patient and continue to work it, but that's how I've been able to break out of my circle.
Wow, that's a great story. And we're so thankful that we have Elaine, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's
He always says user, so
exactly, exactly. Oh, I do it shamelessly,
Yeah.
no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gloria, now I am so excited. What is you have just had tremendous success. So what is your like go-to tool that you're using right now when you're communicating with your prospects? And obviously you are, as Jelaine, I know, I think it's Carrie always says, nailing the sale. You know, how are you closing and turning the prospects into customers?
Okay, well, I love the Protective Plus video because it's short and sweet. It's like 1 minute and 3 seconds. So I always use that. And because a lot of people are so busy, they don't want something long. In the past, I've sent longer ones, even 4 minutes. And I said, did you get a chance to watch the video? No. But something like this, I find that they're watching it. And then depending on what their circumstances are, I'll send them the verbiage from the Drop Mart, the team, that one. So now I'm doing it from the boards and they love it, you know, and so they'll call me back and say, okay, I want to order, you know, and then we talk for a little while. And then to nail the sale, you know, I guess my belief in the product, my enthusiasm, and to tell them how I felt, how I'm feeling, and how I want my family and friends to feel the same way. They're ready to buy the product, and for the most part, a lot of them want everything. You know, the quads, the powder, and then when it comes to a point that those who want to like back out, I say to them, I said, look, there's something for every budget. I said, for myself, either I'm going to give the money to the doctor or I'm going to invest in myself. So when I say that, they're more likely to say, okay, I'll try it. And then one person wanted to try it for 2 months. And I said, no, you're not going to get any results in 2 months. You have to do at least 4 months because our sales change every 4 months. So when I tell them that, they say, okay, I'll give it a try. And then in one instance, I had a customer who wanted to do it. She was in the process of selling the home and she had a home in Florida. And so as a housewarming gift, I bought the product for her. She wanted everything. She wanted the quad and everything. So I paid it out cash. And she said, Gloria, I really like the product. Not only did she pay me what I put out, the $450 that I put out, she changed everything to her name so that it can, you know, under her credit card. So now she's a good customer. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money. So I was willing to do that for her because I know that she really needed the product. So.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So many nuggets in here. Okay. That was fabulous. So in terms of what did you say about there's something about there's a budget, something for everybody's budget?
Right. Like some people, they can't pay for the quads or they can't pay up front. I said, the best way I can describe is layaway. They'll let you pay over the 4 months so you're not straining your budget. And I said, maybe you can start with one, depending on how severe, whatever they're going through, try one product. You can always add on later. So they like that idea.
Wow, that's excellent. And I love your line about, you know, you can pay the doctor or, you know, or buy Juice Plus. And I know that was true for me. It became my health insurance. At first it took the place of my prescriptions, but then that is amazing. However, I've never bought anybody $450 worth of Juice Plus.
She's a good friend. She's a good friend. You know, she lost her husband. She's been through a lot. So I was willing to do it.
So your giving heart made a huge difference. And no wonder you're closing the sale and that you're flying through the marketing plan. Thank you so much. Wow, that was great. Cynthia, again, another fast track. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear from you. So what form of communication are you using and how are you nailing the sale? Because I know that you're also doing that.
So I keep in mind 3 important things: CAP, which is care and concern, awareness of who I'm speaking to, and the productivity and how much I can help them. right? And so when it comes to concern and care, that's really just a matter of understanding who am I speaking with? What are their health challenges? What are they concerned about? And aware of that helps me to make better choices for them. Because a lot of times people will say, you know, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. My sales have not been that, oh, I sent out a video and they're like, yes, I'll take it. It's only been 2 people who did that, you know, and everyone else, it was through repetition, through constant telephone calls, text messages, and some Zoom conferencing, where I actually did a couple, you know, Zoom events with people one-on-one or with couples that I've done. And so that's really been how I've been able to, you know, get people involved with Juice Plus.
So it's been consistence and persistence.
Yes.
Well, and I think that's true for most of us. I've had very few people who the first time I mentioned it was ready to jump on board. So I think that is a really powerful way to even view it. And so did you come up with the acronym CAP?
I did.
Great. So can you, yeah, one more time?
Okay, so now usually acronyms only have one word. Okay,
But
but
it's
my
across-
acronym is a little bit different. So the C is care and concern. The A is awareness. The P is patience, I should have said, and productivity. And sometimes I turn that around to PAC. So sometimes I need to be patient. A lot of times I'm always aware of who I'm speaking to. And then the latter part may be concern.
So what I love is that you're building these relationships, and most of it is probably through phone calls, I'm assuming, and Zooms.
Phone call, Zoom, text messaging.
Okay.
Yes, and now with videos, you know, definitely send out a few of those. And I love boards because my sister was the first one that I used boards on, and she was like, "What's going on?" You know, I didn't tell her what I was doing, and you know, she finally got it. Not that, but she was my first person to use it. But I love it. I think it's really
Great.
great.
That's great. I hope you'll share that too in the next, you know, on the coaching chat, because we're going to be talking specifically about boards. So so is there a particular one, website or video or whatever that you like more than it? That you use
The videos that I use are one is what is Juice Plus?
Mhm.
And the second one, I can't recall right now because there's been so many, you know, the Omega 30-second, 60-second one, because that's been my focus now, helping people with the Omegas, because just like Gloria, people are strained with budgets, you know, and as much as I try to, you know, go big, I cannot put someone in a financial hardship. I will never do.
Right.
And so I'm not a salesperson. So this whole SC thing for me is like, but you know, I'm doing what I can to help people.
Well, and we, you know, salespeople usually are not necessarily successful in Juice Plus because, you know, we basically what we do is we share and we care, just like you're saying. So obviously it's working, and they feel your heart and feel your love for them. And so thank you so much for sharing. That's really powerful. Thank you. And Maura, I can't wait to hear from you. So obviously, you know, you are doing amazingly. And so can you share with us, you know, basically, obviously your team, you and Sandy have really taught consistency and relationship. So what are you doing consistently that you create this kind of success? And what are you doing to attract new partners? Because your team has brought on so many, your whole team Lightning.
Well, the first thing I can say is you can hear in everyone's voices, starting with Sandy, really starting with Elaine, and then Sandy, and then Gloria and Cynthia. You can hear the care that they have, the interest that they have in people, you know, and it really does take personal interest. You have to see a person as a person. You can't see them as a sale or, you know, potential customer, even though sometimes we talk about potential customers. That only comes after you've created a relationship or a rapport with the person. And so taking a personal interest has really helped me. And I know it's helped the others in doing what we're doing, because when you take that personal interest, people sense it, they can hear it, they can feel it, they see it in your eyes when they see you visually, they can hear it in your voice over the phone. And so it's not just, talking with a smile, because, you can say, oh, I hate you. And, it's like you can say that with a smile, but that doesn't engender the person to you. But when you're talking to them and then mostly listening to them, hearing them out, hearing what their issues are, hearing what their concerns are, for themselves and for their family, and then you respond based on what you heard, and when you respond that way, they know that you were really listening, that you're really interested in them, and then they trust you, and now they're willing to kind of listen to what you have to say about, how you can help them, and it always comes from that place, from the place of wanting to help, so it's not, I want to sell you something. It's oh, I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with that, like the gentleman said in the conference. And would you consider something that might help with that? Are you what are you doing to help with that situation? I might have something that can help you a little bit more with that, and so for me, that has really worked. How am I attracting new partners? Well, taking a personal interest in them. Sometimes they start off as customers, but then, like with Gloria and Cynthia, they were referring so many people to me that it just made sense that they should get paid for the referrals. So I offered their partnership as a referral fee. How would you like it if Juice Plus gave you a referral fee for all the customers that you're referring to me? You need to be getting money for that, And so they, Gloria accepted, and then Cynthia came on board because of her appreciation for the product, and so it made sense to me when the majority of my partners have been individuals that were referring people to me, and so we talked about getting a referral fee, which is the commission from Juice Plus. So that's how I've gotten a lot of my partners, and since they appreciate the product, they value the product, they talk the product, they really share it well. And consistency, I have to say, for my partners, my level of consistency is always making sure that I'm following up with them, touching bases with them, if not every day like we used to, now that we've finished our 90 days, as often as possible. We have a weekly meeting, but then, I always tell them, if you need anything, just give me a call or send me a text, and I'll be more than happy to assist you, because I know how much help I needed at first and how many questions came to mind. Oh, I wonder if. So I want to always have that open door, so that if they need help, if they need assistance, they know they can tap in, and I'll either get the information or respond as soon as possible.
That's awesome. And obviously that it's from Sandy on down that has communicated. That seems to be Team Lightning. It's all about relationships and about investing in people. And so I hear that from all of you. Can you share what the story that you were just telling me about taking your mom to the doctor? Because I think that is so beautiful.
Yes. So it was actually a surprise. And it's funny because I'm always encouraging my partners to just, so make sure you're prepared, be prepared, make sure you have a video in mind, make sure you have, something in mind. So, and so as I'm sitting in the doctor's office with my mom, I'm really focused on her appointment and, what's happening with her and so forth. She's doing really well. She's in very good health. She's only on one minor medication, and the doctor was very impressed. So he was asking her, well, what are you doing, Mrs. Akins? What is it that you do? How do you, how are you staying so spry? And so she says, well, I'm doing this. I do house cleaning for a living. So I'm up the stairs, down the stairs, carrying this up, carrying that down. So I get exercise. And so, but my daughter gave me some Juice Plus, and she makes me take that. And so he said, "Oh, Juice Plus, yeah, that's some good stuff, isn't it?" And so she said, "Yeah, yeah, it certainly is, you know." And so he says, "You know what, Juice Plus, that's an excellent product. It's been around for what, like 30 years or something now?" And I said, "Yeah, you know." And so he's like, "Yeah, I would say whatever you do, don't stop taking the Juice Plus. Keep taking it, you know, along with, you know, things like hydrating, getting good exercise, you know, eating right, all those good, you know, good healthy lifestyle choices, but keep taking that Juice Plus." And I'm thinking to myself, wow, he's speaking my language, you know, like that's exactly what we say. So I raised my eyebrows, but because it was her appointment, I didn't want to say too much. But I said to him, "I'm so glad to hear that you're familiar with Juice Plus." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, I love that stuff, you know." So um,
And,
he asked my mom.
didn't he say, has it been around? It's been around forever or something like that?
Yeah, he said, "It's been around for what, like 30 years or something?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah." So he asked my mom, "Well, where do you get it? You know, where do you get it from?" And she said, "Well, my daughter gives it to me." So he looked at me and he said, "Well, who are you getting it from?" And I said, "Well, I'm a distributor. I sell it." He said, "You do?" He said, "Okay, well, send me your information, send me some information, um, and I'll get back to you, you know?" And I'm thinking, really? Okay. You know, like what? Okay, so he says, "Yeah, yeah, send me some information." He gave me his cell phone number. He says, "Go ahead and text it to me, and I'll get back to you." And so I said, "Well, okay." I said, "Well, also let me just let you know that for busy doctors like yourself, there's a program called Wellness Plus, and if you would like to, you know, because you're so busy, we recognize you're busy. We know that you don't have time to educate yourself on the product, then educate your patients and, you know, get them on board. We'll actually do it for you and you can still make a commission." And he was like, "Really? Wow, that sounds awesome. Send me that too. Send me that information too. I'd love to hear more about that." So I'm thinking, really? Okay. And so now my brain is going like, okay, now what video am I going to send them? Okay, now what am I, you know, but he just caught me off guard. So after I collected myself, I recognized, hey, you have boards on your phone, silly. So I went onto boards and I was able to get him some information right then and there, you know, start sending it to him. So that really helped a lot. So if you noticed, several of the folks using boards is fantastic, is phenomenal. Information at your fingertips, I mean, that is no joke. And it's so handy that you're really wasting time if you're not using it to your advantage whenever possible. Yeah.
Well, didn't he also say that stuff's been around or it hasn't changed?
Right. He said, "I love the fact that it hasn't changed." You know, he says like they haven't really done anything different, have they? And I said, "No." I said, "Well, here's the thought. You know, if it's not broken, why change it? You know, don't."
Cha-ching! That's beautiful.
You know, he said, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, "That's why I love it because it's like the same, like you know, they have not changed it." And, you know, he's like, that's exactly right. If there's nothing wrong with it, why change anything?" He's like, you know, that new and improved stuff, there's no such thing as new and improved. It either works or it doesn't. And for me, he says, as far as I know, Juice Plus works, you know. So I was like, ding, you know, all right, let's see where we can take this. So we'll see. We'll
That's
see how it goes.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for those of you who are new on the call, this has all been recorded, so you're going to be able to listen to it. And so, Laura, if you don't mind, thank you so much, Sandy and Gloria and Cynthia and Maura for sharing what's been working for you. It's and the success that you're having. So thank you so much. And so, if you don't mind stopping that recording, and then